Welcome everybody. Welcome to Spinner Rack. Today I'm here with Cal. PD unfortunately got picked up once again, and so he won't be able to make it. So today we're going to be talking about Henry Cavill, the man himself, the Man of Steel, Superman, one of the greatest figures in DC comic history, and the controversy about him being still Superman or not. So I have my own personal opinion as to what I think was going on. Yes, they're in difficult negotiations right now. Yes, he may not officially be still with DC, but I think he's going down. And I'll give you my reasons why. But first, let me put it on to my boy, Cal. Cal, what do you think is going on, baby?
It's over. It's done. He's out.
This man has been involved in movies that have generated over $3 billion for DC. He's been the face of the franchise.
So is Vern Troyer. Okay? He's not doing anything right now either. He's out. He's done.
He's been the face of the franchise for DC. DC actually wanted him in the Shazam movie that was coming up to be a bigger part.
And he said no. Why did he say no?
Because he wanted his own movie.
Exactly. That's why he's out. He's not getting his own movie.
He's not getting. But I think that right now, I think they're in the middle of still negotiations. I don't count it out. I think that he is the face of the stories, and I think the new Superman that they were able to do with...
He's the face of what?
The face of... Superman is one of the key people in Justice League.
Not in this. They screwed up Superman starting with Man of Steel. Okay, now we're here. It's too late. The character's toxic. He's not getting a sequel. They want to utilize him like Samuel L. Jackson. That's what they said. They want him to be the guy who connects all the stories. That means the whole story happens and Superman shows up in the end like it's a public service announcement. Like, hey, guy, that was a really good adventure on your part. Want to join the Justice League?
And that's a good thing.
No.
I think it's better for his profile to stick doing that if he doesn't get a movie, and that people will come to accept him as the Superman people always wanted and will be a love
like as a public service announcement. No.
But, you know,
okay, people.
He's not going to get the Man of Steel movie now. But the only way to turn that around is by being more involved in DC. And if that means he has to, what is it, eat crow? And do...
Eat crow?
Eat crow and do some of the...
Why does he have to eat crow? Mission Impossible. Dude's hot right now. That's why
he's dead in Mission Impossible.
No,
right
he doesn't
now.
need to come back to Mission Impossible. He went and did that in Mission Impossible. Now they're like, oh, so we don't have to typecast you as Superman. You can do other stuff. Why do you think he's doing this with this contract negotiation? The dude wants out. Forget about it.
I think the dude still wants it. There's no way you're going to walk away from a role like this. Because I'm telling you right now, you know what's going to really happen?
No, what?
I'll tell you what's going to really
no, what's going to happen?
You know what's going to happen?
What's going to happen?
What happened to the Sprint guy?
The who?
The guy who used to be with Verizon and went over to Sprint.
Okay.
He's going to be the DC version
We're off the rails.
Marvel. No, I'm saying, look at it. He's going to go over to Marvel. Marvel will be idiots not to pick him up and put him in some other role. You know what I'm trying to say?
As what? One of their one-shot villains who dies in the film?
Could be, but the very fact that your own Superman tarnishing the brand will do that. I'm surprised you wouldn't figure that, being that you were the guy, the Man of Steel man. You know what I'm trying to say?
Okay, people. Follow along with me, all right? I'm going to tell you the real dope, the real deal, the straightaway stuff right over here. None of this tomfoolery and malarkey that you're hearing right now. See, here's the thing, all right? Warner Brothers has never believed in Superman when it comes to a film. The 1978 film, they never thought that could happen. When Ilya and Alexander Salkin came over and said, hey, we want to buy the rights to Superman, these guys are like, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, sure. They thought it was free money. Then, when they actually made the film, and it worked, they were like, oh my God, we gave away how much money in these film rights? So they went and they made certain that they did a better contract negotiation for the film rights. But once those films, after the fourth film, and the fourth film didn't do well, these guys are like, see, we told you, that was just a flash in the pan. We can't do anything with Superman. There was no Superman film for 20 years. 20 years, there was no Superman film. Then we got Superman Returns. Superman Returns, contrary to the internet, was actually a profitable film, and it received good reviews. Did a sequel happen? No. No sequel happened because there was no drive behind it. These guys were again like, oh, okay, well, we got some money, let's keep moving on. The only reason why we got a film after that, Man of Steel, was because there was all these lawsuits going on, and a judge said, hey, you know what, Warner Brothers? You guys suck when it comes to making films about Superman. If you don't make a movie with Superman by this year, we're going to give the film rights back to the heirs of Schuster and Siegel. Warner Brothers said, what? Oh, no, we can't lose any money from this character that we don't believe in. And so now we got a film. And what did we get? We got Man of Steel. And we all know how that turned out, don't we?
Which made money. What are you talking about? It made money, right? If we're looking at
I was
money,
waiting for him to say that
it made
because
money.
it made more money as a single Superman film, even adjusted for inflation, than any of the other films that came over by my reading. Here's the problem, though. That was 2012. It is now 2018. So if Man of Steel was this great film, this film where everybody was like, this is the best Superman film ever, look at all of the money and such, here's the problem. Just like Superman Returns, it's been 6 years, no sequel. There's going to be a Wonder Woman sequel before there's going to be a Superman sequel. That is the problem this guy is going up against, and he knows it.
Man of Steel too?
No.
No. So what are you talking about? So it
Hey,
doesn't make a
the
difference
history,
whether or not it
the
doesn't come
history
out.
is the history.
You know
What I want has nothing to do with the history and the facts that I'm presenting. These guys are just not that into Superman. They don't care. They don't mind getting the money, but they don't believe in the character.
What are you
So
talking
now
about?
you have Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is coming over to these guys saying, look, I got a director. I've got a script. You know, we can put a script together. I want to do another movie after. And these guys are like, what? No, because they saw Man of Steel. They were like, oh, no, look at everything that happened. And the other films haven't done too well, so they're not giving him anything. And Cavill knows it. That's why he's doing all this other stuff. He's going to say, hey, look, I tried. I did the Instagram thing with the little puppet and so on and so forth. But, you know, we just can't get a film going. These guys just don't believe. And he's right. So all of this other stuff is just malarkey. It's not going to happen. He's out. Who does contract negotiations through Instagram? He's out. Stop holding on, okay? It's like when your wife leaves. She's gone. She's not coming back. She's with the new man. He's bigger and better than you. You just got to live with it and deal with it. And that's where we are. Okay, see? And that is a sign from the good Lord above. Okay, because God did not want to hear any tomfoolery and malarkey. He didn't want to hear it. And so the truth reigns once more. What do you have to say for yourself?
I'm going to ask you just a couple of simple questions. You here on this show, I can't put the date, last year, this show, you said the Superman that appeared in Justice League, when he did that move, when he tracked the Flash,
yeah,
was a classic. This is the Superman that we wanted. This is the Superman that we wanted in that movie, that we wanted in Man of Steel, that we wanted in BVS. Didn't you say that?
Yeah.
He is giving us more of that.
How?
You know?
Who's giving us more?
Henry Cavill.
No, Henry Cavill is not giving us anything because he's out. That's the end of that. They're not making a Superman film.
Okay, look, I'm not disagreeing. There's a difference between making a Superman film and with him staying as Wonder Bread.
But those are connected. He's not staying unless they do the film. He's not going to stay there to be Samuel L. Jackson. He's not going to do it.
He's not going to do the cameos.
Why in the world should he be Nick Fury? Nick Fury can do the cameos. Superman is a major player. And if he does the cameos, then what is he doing? All he's doing is lowering and lessering the character at the end of the day.
I totally disagree. He is the not the Bugs Bunny. He is the.
So let Batman do the cameos then.
Well, we have an issue with Batman right now. But I'm saying
I'm sorry, what was that? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. You don't even need Ben Affleck. You can just put the mask on somebody. I could put the mask on you and you could do the cameos.
Look, I'm saying right now, we're having a bit of a problem with Batman. You know, clearly our main Batman is going through some struggles that we, as supporters of Batman.
Yeah, it's called he's out because the films didn't do what they were supposed to do. He's not stupid.
Listen.
He's like, I'm out. He's like, I didn't come here to be some rally cheerleader for Aquaman. He's like, you've got to be kidding me. Wonder Woman's going to get a sequel before I get a film? I'm out. I'm going to do my own stuff. I'm a respected director. The hell with this.
Look, there's a couple of good reasons why, and I think I said it already. One, if he doesn't do it, Marvel will scoop him up. Marvel is notorious for scooping up other people's superheroes.
So?
Green Lantern, they've done
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Okay.
They've done, which the Deadpool, and which is now part of the Marvel family, which is part of Disney. They picked up the guy who was Johnny Storm, who's now Captain America. I can imagine them looking to
What did he do for DC, though?
The point I'm trying to say.
Chris Evans was always Marvel.
No, he was with Fox. I'm saying he moved over to Marvel right now. Not everybody's in the Marvel set. I'm saying I can't imagine Marvel will leave this guy on. This is your face of your franchise. This is like the Verizon dude going over to Sprint again. This is what I'm trying to say.
If you could give me a couple more examples that actually follow the same path with Green Lantern to Deadpool, okay. But other than that,
Chris Evans. Chris Evans was the Human Torch, and then he went over.
But that's still in the Marvel family.
It wasn't the Marvel family before.
I can't do that one with you. It's the Fantastic Four are still Marvel characters. If you're talking about DC characters going to Marvel characters, okay.
I see what you're saying, but there hasn't been that many turnovers like that. But I'm just saying it could happen, and I'm saying someone as big as Henry
Who's he
Cavill-
gonna play? He's Superman in the DC universe. Who in the world can he come over and play?
He can stick it to DC just by playing anybody else.
There's no one he can play. There's no one he can play. He's Superman. Superman doesn't wear a mask. Everybody's gonna look, and no matter what you
Captain
say, everybody's
Marvel.
gonna say Superman.
I agree, but I'm just saying if he goes over, look, all I'm saying
He's
is
gonna
that
look ridiculous.
he will, but you know what? Marvel may be willing to do it just to stick it to DC.
Marvel would have to come up with sums of money that even Cavill would have to say, this is just ridiculous, not for me to take
What do you
the
mean?
money.
Cable needs to work. Cable needs to eat.
He's going to work.
If it's not working as well,
Mission Impossible. He's going to work.
that's a one shot.
No.
Have you got anything else in the
Mission
bag?
Impossible is now how you shop yourself
have
because you
you-
don't have to shop Superman anymore.
Have you
now
heard-
they can say you're only as good as your last work.
The only-
What did you do? Mission Impossible. Oh yeah, with Tom Cruise. I saw that. Yeah, you were good in that. Yeah, come on and do
But
this.
that's why he's doing The Witcher. He's doing the TV show right for Netflix. They're throwing money at him because
But you're proving my point now. He's doing other stuff. He doesn't need to do this. Why is he going to hold on to this?
movie stars want to be what? Movie stars. TV star is the second thing that you're going to do. So I think he still wants to
If
be able
it
to.
gives him the flexibility.
He still wants to do the. He still wants to do the movie. I think the Geralt character, which could be huge from the books. I've read one which is very interesting. One, if it becomes as huge as it possibly as it is in books, it's going to blow him out the way. Okay, but he's a movie star, and movie stars want to do movies. Because that's where they get more name recognition. And
where's he going to have more flexibility? Doing what? Is he going to have more flexibility
With
doing
movies.
other films? No. Is he going to have more flexibility in doing other films, or is he going to have more flexibility sticking with the DCEU, with other stuff? Of one film from the DCEU, that can monopolize almost his entire year. And that doesn't give him the flexibility to go out and say, okay, I can market myself, I can present myself in other ways so I'm not typecast. But if he does it the other way, he could do that. That's why they're trying to give him that cameo stuff, because they're trying to tell him, hey, look, you could do all these other films that you want, and then every so often when you get some time, you just come and film for us, and there. But then all they do is with him, okay? And this is somebody, Cavill, I have to admit that I do respect, because he actually believes in Superman as a character.
He does.
He believes in Superman as a character, and he understands that if he does that, all he's going to do is marginalize Superman to this guy who shows up, smiles, says, hey, buddy, that was great. You want to come join the Justice League? And then he'll do a Justice League film at the end of the day, but you have yet to tell a Superman story. The last Superman story was told in 1978.
I think the thing that we need to do now is we need to separate what we did with Man of Steel originally. There needs to be space between that and a new Superman movie. And I think this
You
would
can
be
do that.
And I think this would be the perfect method for him to do, where he keeps himself in the spotlight, and then as the movies progress and he gets better and more not and
So he
more,
should prostitute himself is what you're saying.
Don't they all? All
No.
actors prostitute themselves. What are you talking about? I don't see anything different.
He should prostitute himself to the point where everybody realizes he's the prostitute?
Yeah, and the prostitute
They're like,
with
come
the big
over here,
ass-
Cable, put these pumps on. Time for you to go walk the corner? No, I don't think so.
I think he should do it. So look, clearly there's a difference of opinion. I think he should do it.
Of course you want him to do it because you don't like Superman. You would love to see him marginalized.
But I'm saying here, I think this Cable is a very good Superman. I liked him in quite a few of the movies he's been in. I liked him in Batman v Superman. I liked him in Mission Impossible. I liked him in
You liked
Justice
him in
League.
Batman v Superman because he lost the fight. That was it. You should have seen him. This guy was cheering. He was like, yeah, no, stab him. Stab him. Stab him before it's too late. Ah, he's alive. That was the only reason why he liked the film.
Regardless.
Okay, look, he's done what? Mission Impossible, Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yes, which I didn't see.
And he had some stuff. He had some stuff previously. I know he did Immortals and so on and so forth. And he had some lighter stuff. He was it's like more supporting roles. I know he had a supporting role in Tristan and Isolde. He was in The Count of Monte Cristo, but that was a long time ago. So this is somebody who's been steadily working. Now, to be quite honest, I mean, look, as an actor, who was it? Kate Winslet said after she did Titanic, and Titanic was this
huge.
blackout hit.
Yeah.
And they asked her, how did you feel after Titanic? She said she was terrified because she didn't know if she was going to work again. Okay, she said as good as that film was, she did not know if she was going to be able to work again because that was one film. Actors don't know if they're going to work again. Right now, he might be at like the apex for himself right now where he's done these other films. He's shown that he can do something else in another franchise.
Right.
He did The Man from U.N.C.L.E. That didn't turn out necessarily the way that anybody wanted it to turn out, at least not for him, because that would have been a nice franchise for him. Didn't happen. There were talks about him being James Bond at one point, but he was attached to this. So at the end of the day, okay, all our bickering aside, at the end of the day, if he's an actor, he wants to stay viable, he wants that flexibility. The only question I would put to him, where do you think you're going to have that flexibility? doing with the DCEU or leaving the DCU. And then this has to be married to the fact that he actually believes in Superman as a character.
Right.
So now this guy would have to say, okay, no, I'm going to come over here and do this and then hope at some time in the future I'm going to get the Superman role for the Superman film. And we all know that's a ticking clock. Eventually these guys want to start everything over. They want new actors, fresh faces. That's just the reality of the situation. I just don't see it happening. I haven't seen it happening. Look, this is the same path for Superman films since 1978.
So, all right, I see what you're saying. I'm not agreeing with it, but I'm saying, all right, so what is your suggestion? If you had to remake the Superman character now with Cavill out, what would you suggest doing? And is there a particular actor
right now, I couldn't give you a particular actor.
Not even the guy who's doing it in Supergirl?
Hell no. I hate that show. Okay, so...
But the actor who plays Superman,
now,
he's supposed to be taking the original from the 1979 movie.
He's not
embody that.
He doesn't have the star quality for a film. TV, that's one thing, but the film is different.
And he's going to be a bigger part of the show this year.
She's going to beat him up again?
No, he's going to be, I believe, in the crossover.
She's going to whip his ass twice?
He's going to be in the crossover they have this year.
Yeah, he's going to be there. Lois Lane is going to be there. So what? He lost what is it? They wrote a show where he got beat up by Supergirl. We're done. I don't need to watch that anymore. But that's the
CW crossover they have every year, where they have the different shows, Legends, Supergirl, Arrow, and Flash, where they cross over. So that's what we're talking about, basically. That he's going to definitely play a prominent part.
They do it once a year. Yeah. He's supposed to be prominent, but I don't know how much they can do with him because they've already said he's second banana to Supergirl. So what the hell do I want to see him being second banana to Supergirl for? And that's another problem DC has right now. See, they decided to do things backwards. They wanted to reverse engineer and get to Justice League as fast as possible.
Right.
Which they did. Didn't work out the way. Now, they've got the smaller films coming out. They've got a Wonder Woman sequel coming out. The Aquaman looks like it's actually going to do well. Okay? I honestly believe Shazam is going to do well. And
I'm very surprised about that.
And the Wonder Woman film might be successful as well. The problem is, you're going to lose Superman. Okay? You've lost Batman. And these other guys, okay, you can't do with these guys what you did with Marvel. See, Marvel was fine. You could do Iron Man, Thor, not have the bigger players like the X-Men and Spider-Man. You brought those guys in later because that's where you were starting. You already started with the heavy hitters at this portion. So now people are going to be like, well, where's Superman? Where's Batman? And there are guys who just want to see those characters come in.
Right.
So now that's not necessarily the case. They're going to do what DC's always done in the situation. They're going to reboot somehow. They'll probably have some film Flashpoint. Time changes everything. Everybody they'll keep maybe one or two people. Other people are going to have to move on, and that's pretty much the end of it.
But aren't they going to do that? Aren't they doing the Flashpoint movie with Flash? That's what I thought they were going to do.
It's supposed to be coming down the pike, but I haven't heard anything about it.
And they're doing a Batman set in the past with Matt Reeves. So
I don't know
a younger version of Batman.
I don't think that's going to see the light of day, to be quite honest.
Oh, and they're supposed to be doing a Nightwing movie.
I don't think that's going to see the light of day either. See, but that's the problem. You're going because now you're messing up your own stuff. See. You want to do a Batman film, you want to do it set back in time and do all this other type of stuff. Okay, but then this character can't interact with the other ones, okay, because you've set this one back in time, younger and so on and so forth. And the whole idea is that they wanted that connected, shared universe.
But if
either you're giving it up or you're not.
No, it can still, because there's one key event, Flashpoint. If they do a Flashpoint movie, all this stuff that they're doing, anything that they're changing and revamping, it can work because Flashpoint basically scrambles the whole time.
Not if you do a Batman film, and not if you do a Batman film set in the past and it's successful. They're not going to want to do it.
I think
they have no plan. They have no plan.
And they've greenlit the Bird of Prey movie with I think that may come out. You're right, before even Superman would come out.
I don't know. They gave a green light to Birds of Prey. They gave a green light to Gotham City Sirens, and then
it was Gotham City Sirens.
Right. No. Birds of Prey and Gotham City Sirens. I know.
Two different ones?
Yeah, but because it was Suicide Squad came out and it was like Suicide Squad 2. No, it's going to be Harley Quinn's going to get
basically
her own
it's a Harley Quinn movie with everybody else
No,
around.
It's supposed to be a Harley Quinn movie on her own. No, it's going to be Birds of Prey. No, it's going to be Gotham City Sirens. No. They throw up a lot of stuff. There was already supposed to be a Batgirl film. And when because I deal with the comics. I look at the comics and I'm like, wait, why is it selling for $20 now? This was $1 book. Oh, Batgirl film. So they put this news out. Everybody goes ape and gaga for it, and then it retreats because there's nobody to direct it. They didn't cast anyone.
Well, they had Whedon, and then Whedon had that whole Me Too moment. And
well, he was out before that. He was out of Batgirl before that.
So that's what's happening there. But hey, I guess we're doing a DC recap of what's going to happen and what we feel is going to. Do you think they're going to be able to get their mojo back? That's
No.
what you're basically saying. No.
No.
I think they are. I think
They don't have any mojo.
If they have Aquaman come out and Aquaman does well, you're going to be having they're doing the Wonder Woman movie and Shazam, which surprised me. The whole trailer that we saw looked pretty interesting. You know.
But there where Marvel was in Marvel's fledgling state when films belonged to different properties, and you got Daredevil here, and Punisher was here, and Swamp Thing was here. That's where they are. There's nothing cohesive about it, and the best that they could hope for is to have this cohesive unit. You know, and they just don't. Even now, they don't have a plan. Aquaman could be very, very successful. It could be very successful. These guys are not prepared for it to be successful, the same way they weren't prepared for Wonder Woman to be as successful as it was. So now, okay. Aquaman is successful, Wonder Woman is successful, so now what do? You want to just build off those. Okay, but then eventually what happens? Those films peter out, okay? To be quite honest, I would be hard...
That's going to be like 8 to 10 years from now, so
no,
why go that far?
Because again, you want to build something that's viable and durable. The Marvel method worked because each of those characters in those films was built up, they're durable, okay? If they stop or don't make another film, that's fine. We can still see where they can make the transition. They introduced other characters. No problem. DC is still waiting for some sort of solidity. They're still waiting for some sort of solidity at the end of the day. And, I mean, they built it on shaky ground. Man of Steel. Man of Steel was not a Superman film. Man of Steel was, hey, what if we gave somebody Superman's powers and jacked him up? And when you went through the whole film, at the end of the day, it's like there's nothing anybody would like about this guy. Why would you want to be him? Okay, why would you want to be him? He's supposed to be Superman. Being Superman is supposed to be cool. It's not supposed to be this thing you slave around on your back, and then you go to the next film, and he's saying there's nothing good in this world. You're Superman? Batman, I could understand you could say something of that nature, but Superman? No, but that's the foundation of the DC universe, Superman. You go to Marvel, it'll be the same thing. If you had Captain America or Spider-Man, or if, Captain America saying, well, maybe we should save him, maybe we shouldn't. Cap is like, no, we're going to save these people. That's the end of it. Or Spider-Man? Oh, man, if Spider-Man came over there and didn't give every single thing he had to try to save people, you would wonder what the hell. Peter Parker being selfish? No, he learned those lessons already. That's the foundation of your universe. DC is still, they're not there yet. They're not there yet. That doesn't mean they can't have successful films and make money. They've already shown that. But in terms of the foundation of a universe, something where you say, okay, now they got it. Now I can see some light at the end of the tunnel. The future is bright. Not there yet.
I kind of disagree, man. I think that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Well,
all right, so
we will see.
So I'm glad you brought up Aquaman. What do you think about this? You've seen the trailer. You've seen the upcoming stuff. I've been hearing a whole bunch of stuff. Some people saying it's going to be bad. Some people saying it's going to be
no. That's
good.
Actually.
What do you think about?
No, Aquaman is actually going to do well because what Jason Momoa did with him in the Justice League film was not Aquaman. That was more like Lobo or Aqua Biker Man or something of that nature. But it looks fun.
So what do you think? They're going to tone it down, or you think they're going to tone down that?
Oh no, this is Hollywood. When did they ever tone it down if it's working? Ramp it up, right?
Right, but I mean, he's not.
If one neon light worked, we're going to have 10 in the next movie. They're not going to tamp that down. They're going to go. Okay, look, it's pretty much following the same formula as all these other films. He's like, I hate to say it, he's a fish out of water.
Right.
The boys are teasing him and bullying him. I'm like, what kind of bullies are these? We used to leave guys like that alone. Like, hey, he thinks he can talk to fish. Oh, he must be crazy. Leave him alone. Everybody seems to get bullied for the dumbest of reasons in films. But anyway,
they do get bullied. I gotta say, I know people get bullied for all kinds of stuff.
You can get bullied for that. You get bullied for something else. They make fun of your forehead or something of that nature.
They make fun of you if you think you're anybody who's weird, anybody who's different from the norm. Or
if you were that weird, guys would leave you alone because you were like, you're freaky.
No, they would not. People will pick on you because the weakest person will say, hey, then I can pick on this guy so people can't pick on me.
Yeah, well, everybody, it's the same formula. He's fish out of water. Everybody, he's getting bullied, and then he's going to find out who he really is, and then he's going to have this adventure, and the same thing we've seen in just about every superhero movie since Superman in 1978. So we get that whole thing right there. But it just looks, at this point, to be quite honest, it looks fun. Okay, it looks light, it looks fun, it looks enjoyable. And, Jason Momoa does, he has a lot of, he does have a good amount of charisma.
I mean, we see him at the cons, and we see people just falling over themselves just to get to Jason Momoa.
Yeah, he has a very, it's not like they just discovered him either. This is a guy who's been in sci-fi for some time. Yeah. Since, Stargate?
Stargate Atlantis, right.
Yeah, Stargate, then he has his turn in Game of Thrones, so it's not that people don't know him and he doesn't have a loyal following.
Also known as Lisa Bonet's husband, too.
Yeah, that too. So, that type of stuff helps him as a with the character he's portraying as an actor. You bring all of that goodwill to the character. But the thing is, it doesn't look like an Aquaman film. It just looks like, okay, fine, we got this dude underwater. It looks like Lobo underwater at the end of the day. I'm gonna chug down some, I'm gonna chug down some Jack.
Stick to that logo analogy
I'm gonna chug down some Jack, and we're gonna come over here and do this type of stuff. But Aquaman is a different character than what I'm seeing portrayed here. That being said, it's the film universe. You can do what you want with it, and it does look fun. So I'm expecting that to do well. If it doesn't, but I'm expecting to do well. The Shazam film I'm surprised about because so far that has gotten I haven't seen any negative push for it, even on the internet.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And you know how the internet is. The internet will
There's
stay up
always
all
haters.
night long
Always
to try to
haters.
find some. Hey, look at his foot. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, the internet hasn't really said anything.
But that's why we want Superman in the Shazam show, because it looks as though it's going to be fun, and you put in Superman, it's just going to make it even
Nice
better.
try. But the whole idea with the Shazam, no, because I've been looking at the comics as well. And Shazam books are selling. Things that shouldn't be selling are selling. I'm really surprised by it. Yes. I was really surprised by it at the end of the day. So there's I think there's a lot of good-natured anticipation towards the film. The only debate I've seen is guys like me who refuse to call him Shazam. I'm like, no, Captain Marvel is his name. Other guys, no, they changed his name. And yeah, you can go to hell. You're lucky you're on the internet. I'd beat you within an inch of your life. You don't know about the character. But, stuff with that Shazam logo on it has been taken off pretty well. And I just haven't seen again, there's the negative push from the whole thing, just not there. Even from the guys who are kind of nah, not the character I grew up with, but even that's pretty much the most I've been seeing. So I'd be very surprised if it doesn't do well. And it's aimed right at kids.
Yeah.
It's aimed right at them. So I'd be really surprised if it doesn't do well.
I think it should do as well as the Ant-Man movies, probably even better, because I think those movies, the Ant-Man movies are geared more towards kids in the Marvel.
Yeah.
And I think that's a definite perfect. And I think that's what DC needs to do. They need to find whatever niches they can find. Mimic Marvel's strategy. You know what I'm trying to say?
Those are good for the single films, though, but you want to bring that all together. Who's your lead? And it's not going to be Captain Marvel. I'll tell you that. It's not going to be Captain Marvel.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Not the way they're doing it.
Right now, we got one guy we can count on. We got three people you can count on. You got
Who?
These three of the big three. Three of the big five. You got Superman.
No, you don't. He's out.
I think he's still in. You got Superman, you got Wonder Woman, and you got Aquaman. Okay?
Okay. Aquaman is not one of the big three or even
Big
big
five.
five. No, he's lower seven. So that's number one.
Okay.
Number two, Wonder Woman. That's just not going to happen. Wait till the second film and you'll see why. But
look, we'll I don't know what to say about that one. But
you got lucky on that first film. There was just a lot of goodwill towards it. It was the right film at the right time. You had all this feminist drive. It's her first Wonder Woman film. She's pretty in the film too. The acting wasn't horrible. Chris Pine did a really good job. So everything came together for you. Now somehow he's going to be in the second film. I'm like, okay.
Anybody can come
Okay.
back. Anybody can come back.
Okay.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen.
You shouldn't have killed him in the first one.
So ladies and gentlemen, you hear our point of view on this. I suggest you guys give us your point of view and, check us out. Spin a rack, out.